the Mold Breakers Empowerment Forum. I am so delighted that you have joined me again today, and also delighted to present to you yet another empowering topic. Today we look at habits. Habits are our blessings, and they can also be our problems. How can a habit be a blessing? Well, there are many good habits that we have developed over time. I will share a few of them with you in a few moments. But like the good, we have also established some very deep-rooted bad habits that serve only to create problems in our lives. So, where do these habits come from? Well, we live in an environment that is loaded, fully loaded with lots of activities, lots of interactions, lots of communication, verbal, non-verbal, and also there are learning experiences that are constantly taking place. Our learning, most of it is actually passive learning, and it's not intentional. But the more we are exposed to events, the more accustomed we become, and unconsciously we adopt many of the habits through these daily interactions. So, from as early as childhood, habits such as what we eat, where we eat, how we eat are set. They're laid down from childhood. Then there are a cluster of habits that we develop as we grow into teen years. Yes, peer pressure. Familiar with that? Many young persons develop habits that are not so good based on the desire to identify with a particular group of individuals. And does it only happen at that stage? Adults don't go through that, right? Wrong. Even as adults, we adopt habits, new habits that we did not utilize or consider even through our life's journey from infancy to adulthood. So, habits are constantly being formed. So, let's go back to look at some of the habits that we do have. Some persons say, well, I don't eat breakfast. When did that start? For some of us, it starts from as early as childhood. It is often determined by the events that happen around us. Mom and dad have to go to work. We're delivered to the nursery. The nursery has a cluster of children, and they don't get around to feeding you until at least 10 a.m. in the morning. By then, mom and dad would have long had breakfast. But what happens? You are programmed to think, okay, or maybe your body responds that I don't eat before a particular time of day. So it becomes a habit. Is it good? Is it bad? That depends. Another habit. Most of us are taught you do not go out into the public unless you have brushed your teeth, bathed your skin, changed your clothes, and you're looking nice, fresh, and acceptable. Those are habits. Some people say no, they're essential, but basically they are habits, because there are some people who don't actually go out. They get up out of their beds, they get dressed, they wash their mouth, but they don't brush their teeth. Some of them don't even wash their mouth. They have a drink of water and they get moving, put on their clothes, and they're gone. So, habits can be good, they can be bad, but generally, habits are those patterns that we adopt through life, and they're not always actions or behaviors. Sometimes the pattern is a thought pattern, how we think. Are we thinking always in the negative, or are we thinking always in the positive? Or do we adapt our responses and our thought processes based on what we encounter from one moment of the day to the next? So, how do good habits help us? Or, yes, because good habits can only help us. They cannot harm us. So how do good habits help us? Good habits preserve us mentally, physically, socially. Yes. They preserve us, keep us safe. They protect us. And they also serve to repair us. Yes, repair. In which way are we repaired? The food that we eat. Our bodies are constantly in a state of change. We're not aware of it. We are aware of what we do most of the time, but the internal processes of our bodies are dependent on the habits that we create in our lives on a daily basis. So going back to the breakfast habit, if you do not eat breakfast during the morning, but you have a meal by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day, it is a habit that you have established and your body has adapted to. Yes, we are adaptable. So, when do habits harm us, and how are we harmed by habits? Bad habits serve to deplete us, destroy us, and cause defects in our bodies and our ability to function mentally, physically, socially. Do you see the trend there? Yes. Good habits, bad habits, blessings, problems. So, what are some bad habits that we have? Some people would say skipping breakfast is a bad habit, but essentially it's not. Your body is adaptable, and so as long as you are having proper meals at some point during the day, the starting point is not important. What is important is that you consume adequate amounts of nutritional foods. Nutritional meaning that it has all of the food groups, and we've looked at food groups in the past, but just as a quick reminder, the food groups are your proteins, your carbohydrates, your micronutrients, which comes from your plants-based foods, your vegetables, your fruits, your root plants also, you would get your carbohydrates from. And then, of course, you need some fats, some healthy fats, and you need water. Above all, water. And when you have a well-balanced meal, that is a good thing, because in so doing, you are preserving, protecting, and repairing your body on a daily basis. What other good habit can you adopt? Remember the new start that I mentioned in the previous videos? Well, new start: nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperature, temperance, yes, moderation in everything that you do, or balance. A good personal relationship with the Almighty, superpower, higher power, our source from whence we originate. And if we are adopting those behaviors, we know that we will definitely have preservation of our health. We will be protecting our health. We will be also repairing and restoring, because our body needs to be restored, replenished, refreshed on a daily basis. So what are some of the bad habits? The opposite of what the good habits are. If we are not doing the new start formula, then we are depleting, destroying, and putting our body in a state of disrepair, and therefore we will have defects in our daily function. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will eventually happen. You neglect your body, you neglect to take care of it, and you will see the results. The results come in forms of physical and mental illnesses, because our body needs those micronutrients as well as those macronutrients in order to function properly. So, how do we get on track? Beating the bad habits, breaking those habits. I call those habits molds, because they bind you, they keep you encased, they keep you debilitated, and you have to shatter it. You have to break it. You have to break free from the negative. But in breaking free from the negative, you must replace it with a positive. So if you've not been exercising, then you need to get up and move. Exercise. The negative is not, the positive is doing so. Sounds easy enough? Sure enough does. But is it always that easy? The right foods, not knowing what is the right foods to choose, not having access to the right types of food that we need. We feel stuck, we feel helpless, we feel stressed out. But is there a need for you to be distressed? You can get help. There are many persons that are able to help you. You have nutritionists, you have coaches, you have neighbors who have knowledge and skills. Get some help towards improving your life. The quality of your life is dependent on the habits that you adopt. Adopt good habits, you will have a good life. adopt bad habits and you will reap bad outcomes. So, as I wrap up today, I encourage you to seek out the help that you need. But in order to know what help that you need, you must first take a look at the things that you are doing and those that you are not doing. Those that you are aware of, change it. Those that you desire to change but are unable to change on your own, I say get help. Nothing like a health and life coach. I am such a person. If you desire to invest in your health, no matter how small, Mold Breaker Empowerment, Life, Health, and Education Coaching Network is here to help you. Email us empowermentnetwork@gmail.com. That's Mold Breakers Empowerment Network @gmail.com. We wait to hear from you. We're anxious to help you. Break the mold, set yourself free, improve the quality of your life. Your day. Break that mold. Improve your life.